Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. It's Queen Cassandra coming to you live with the Queenology Book Club discussion. This is actually our episode number 9. It's actually going to be our finale where we're going to finish up this wonderful book we've been covering. Queenology by Arthur R.C. Blakes Jr. As you come on, make sure you hit the share button. Make sure that you invite some other people to experience this with us. Make sure that you let me know where you're getting on from. Hey, everybody. Make sure you type where you're from in the comments. Let me know who you are. Thank you all so very much for joining. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Again, for those of you that's just joining, we are covering Queenology. This is actually the last episode number 9. We've been covering this book, Queenology by R.C. Blakes, Discovering the Queen Inside of You. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for coming on. Welcome. Hey, Tracy. Thank you so very much for joining. And for those of you who may also want to get into this further, there is a study guide that goes along with this book that has a lot of valuable information. One of the main things everybody's been asking for is the declaration that I always do at the end. So today I'm going to read the entire declaration, and my plan is to record it separately as well for Facebook and YouTube so that you can just always hear that declaration separately. So I will do a separate recording just with the declaration on it so you can have that to always go back and listen to. Unfortunately, I cannot type it or reprint it because it is not my original work. So I cannot reproduce it in writing. But if you have the study guide, it's at the end of each chapter, and I will also do a recording with the declaration on it at the end, okay? Hey y'all, Ellaville, Georgia in the house. I see you. Good evening. Whoever comment this is, if you don't mind going to the top of the post where you joined in and give StreamYard permission to see your comments so that we can see who you are, see your lovely face, and know exactly who you are with your comments. Again, thank you all so very much for joining. We're going to give everybody a few more seconds, and then we are going to dive right in to our discussion today. We got an interesting discussion to end up this book club. We're going to be talking about queens only hear kings. And then the last portion of it is check your royal circle. So it's going to be a very good discussion today. Invite your friends, invite your family, any girlfriends you have. Say, hey, jump on with me. Let's listen to this today. It's going to be a blessing to you. Hey, Vanessa, thank you so much for joining. Welcome, everybody. So as we're getting ready to get started, a couple of house rules. Number 1, be present for the moment. Make sure you take time out just to listen and be focused on this so that we can hear what God has to say. You know, he always drops us little nuggets as we go along in the discussion. So make sure you take out time and be present for the moment and listen for this book club today. This is our last episode of this particular book. I will be making some announcements at the end, and we'll talk about whether we want to keep this going, okay? Next one, we always want to remind you that being a woman does not affect your direct connection with God, regardless of what you've heard, seen, read. Being a woman does not affect your direct communication with God. And actually, God has a special place in his heart for us as women. And just because you're a woman does not mean, y'all see this little curl going crazy in front of my head? Just because you're a woman does not mean that you do not have access to God, okay? So that's also the definition of a queen is what we've been discovering over the last few weeks, that a queen is a woman possessing ultimate presence, excellent character, and empowered by a no-nonsense approach to love, life, and business. So that's what we've been discovering over the last few weeks is who the queen is and how to become more like the queen God has called us to be. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Hey, y'all. All right. Also, the definition of Queenology, which is the name of the book we've been covering, is the process of reprogramming your conscious to a different standard. So as we've talked throughout episodes 1 through 9. With this being episode number 9, we have talked about everything from your presence to your character. We've talked about, using the dirt in your life to grow as a seed. We've talked about so many things concerning just women and how we have allowed our past to predict our future. And today we're going to talk about the relationship between men and women, and also the relationship with our friends that help define us as queens. Okay. Our subject scripture is Proverbs 25:28, that she who has no rule over her own spirit is like a city that has been broken into, rioted, and left without walls. So we know that as we've gone through this whole course of reading, we've discovered that when we don't have control over who we are, over our emotions, over our feelings, that we are like a city that's been broken into and left without walls, which means we don't have boundaries. We haven't set up what's appropriate for our lives, and we have not done the work that's needed to rebuild ourselves after tragedy. So I pray that as we have gone out through this, course, that you all have been blessed by something each week as we go through this. So my hope is that this will be a tool for you to always go back and listen. We do have them all posted on YouTube now, and this will be available forever and ever for you to go back and always reference. So let's get started. So the chapter that we're going to start with tonight is called Queens Only Hear Kings. And so in this particular part of the book, the author is discussing how once you become conscious as a queen, there is a voice that you should be able to recognize, which is that of a king, which means that you should be programmed in a way that you recognize your royalty. You know who you are. You know what you deserve now. And at the end of the day, the only voice that you should recognize as someone who should influence you should be that of another king or queen. In this particular part of the book, he's talking about relationships, and he's talking about when you are a queen conscious woman, there are certain things that are just no longer allowed in your atmosphere. So those are the things we're getting ready to go through now. Are y'all ready for this? Buckle on your seatbelts, because we're getting ready to go on a little bit of a ride. So the beginning of the chapter, he talks about how the Queen of Sheba had heard about King Solomon, how she was intrigued by him. So she knew he was a king. So she was afforded the opportunity to go visit King Solomon. When she got to where King Solomon was, it said that what he had and the way his palace was set up and the things around him were so magnificent that it was way more than she had ever expected. And once she got there, the verse tells us in 1 Kings chapter 10 that she actually fainted after she saw how much he had, or how much of a king he really was. So the moral of the story is that once you become a queen, you should be intrigued only by other kings. So that means there are certain things that no longer appeal to you. There should be a level and a standard that you are living your life by once you have become queen conscious. So let's dive into this a little bit more. A conscious queen is programmed to only respond to a king. So, he talks about in the book that, just because you're a man doesn't make you a king. And a lot of them are clowns with a crown. So we've all, as a lady, come on, y'all, be honest, you've encountered a clown with a crown. I know I have. I've had a few in my life that I've encountered that have truly turned out to be a clown, but had on a crown. Which is a oxymoron, because we all know that a clown does not wear a crown in real life. That is a person that feels like they're a king, but have not done their work to become a king. And so we've all had a clown with a crown. All right. But as you become queen conscious, you know that you're not going to respond to that anymore. That's not who you are. A conscious queen will be perfectly content with ruling her kingdom alone until a proper king arrives. Queens are never desperate. So let's talk about this. They even have a show on on the internet called Desperate Housewives. Okay, so we know that desperation does exist, and a lot of times we as women, um, we we become a victim of the biological clock. All right, so I want to tell y'all something. So part of one of the reasons that my first initial marriage that I had, I've had two. My parents don't even call them marriages. They said they were situations, which we'll get into it a little bit. But I was married twice and they were a hot mess, both of them. But the thing about it is, I allowed the biological clock syndrome to drive me as into my initial marriage. I was 30 years old. All of my friends had already been married. I didn't have any kids. I felt like I was the third wheel going out with my friends, and I fell victim to the biological clock. If I don't hurry up and get married, there's no hope for me to have any children. I won't be able to, go on the trips with my friends who are all married. I fell victim to the biological clock. And the biological clock syndrome will cause you to feel desperate. It will cause you to feel like, you know what? Everybody else is married. Everybody else is doing this. Why is it what's wrong with me that I'm not married yet, that I don't have this, and so what happened was, when a person came along who I felt like
You got a hotspot on your phone?
okay, are we back? Y'all give me some hearts and let me know if you can still see me.
This one I see.
Okay, we're back. I'm sorry, y'all. I am out of town, and this internet connection where I'm at is not the greatest, but we're gonna make our way through it. Okay. So I was talking about the biological clock syndrome. So I had the biological clock syndrome, and that biological clock ticking forced me was one of the reasons why I chose a person who ended up being a clown with a crown, because I allowed that desperation in me to cause me to want to be married so much that it ended up putting me in a situation where it was not a good situation for me, because I felt desperate. I felt like it was time and that I was going to help God out. But truth of the matter is, I ignored a lot of warning signs because of my desperation. So I am being transparent in telling you all that don't allow desperation to cause you to be involved with somebody who is not a king conscious man. You have over the last few weeks awakened your consciousness as a queen. So we must not allow desperation or feeling like we're left out in order to, find a relationship, when truth of the matter is that you really should be continuing to invest in yourself, so that when a real king comes along, you recognize him and he is able to add to your life. The Bible says in that scripture that when Queen of Sheba saw King Solomon, she fainted. She was like, whoa, this is way more than what I thought he had to offer. And it literally said the life went out of her, which means she fainted. So I don't know about you, but I have never met a king yet that when I meet them, their presence is so overwhelming that it causes me to faint. Maybe God will bless me to be in that company one day, and I will tell y'all about it when he does. But it is amazing that was her response, that it was way more than she ever expected. And I believe God for you and for me, that God will bring us men into our lives. For those of you who are seeking mates and want somebody, I believe that as you are awakening your queen consciousness, that God will allow the king that is designed for you to come into your life, and for it literally to blow your mind. So I am speaking that over myself. I'm definitely speaking it over you all as well. And we believe in God for those of us who are unmarried that want to be married, that will be our experience, that we will be like the Queen of Sheba, and it will cause us to literally feel like we're going to faint. I mean, that is an impression. If somebody makes that impression on you that you faint, then they have really, really said something. You have really made an impression. And so that's what we're going for with the queen consciousness. It also said in the book that a lesser man could never maintain a queen's respect. So let's talk about that. So, in our settling and in our desperation, when we end up with these partners, these people in our lives that are not king conscious, because this chapter of the book is about a queen and a king. So, when we are with um, individuals who are not at the same level as we are, the book talks about that it causes us to lack respect for a man. So, I know that we've all seen relationships with people where the woman is just completely in control. And it's not that the man just wants her to be happy, but she is running the show. At some point in that relationship, this woman figured out that the man was too weak to do what she needed. So she has taken over control of the relationship. And so there is a lack of respect because at some point she realized that he was lesser than her. And I've seen it a million times where the woman just completely says, she just ends up running over this man because he is not on her level. He cannot sustain her. And, we talked earlier about the person that doesn't empower you should not influence you. And so in this area of your life, if you end up with a partner that is a lesser person than you are, and when I say lesser, I mean they are not on your emotional level. They are not on your spiritual level. They are not on your financial level. You all are not equally yoked. And that results in a lack of respect from the woman's part. Because y'all know we as women are strong individuals. And if you don't make it happen, believe me, most of us don't mind taking over and we're going to make it happen. But what happens when we do that is that we end up in the masculine role in the relationship when that is really not what God designed. That's not how his plan should work. It's not supposed to that we take over and then and we don't respect them. But truth of the matter is there are certain men that as a queen conscious woman, you shouldn't even consider. If he does not have himself together, put him in the friend zone until he has it together. I'm not saying don't date him, don't, be friends with him. But what I'm saying is where we go wrong is we allow people too close to us too soon when they don't have it together. But you've done your work. You've met the prerequisites. Some of y'all have been on here now this is the 9th week that you have invested this 1 hour a week into growing and becoming more queen conscious. And so there are certain men by this point that should not even be attractive to you because they lack what you are looking for. You got to have a match. And this is definitely not about finances, which we're going to talk about anyway in a minute. But this is definitely about emotional, intellectual, and the drive to want to do something and be something and go somewhere and build a vision. Until you get that, you should just remain in your kingdom, ruling as a queen until that king that can match what you bring to the table comes forth. And it is not about finances. Please hear me say that. Finances is a small piece of this. This is real because you can have a man that has a drive, that has a vision, that is looking for growth, that is working on improving things, that may just be a little bit down on his luck. He's in between. But if that man has a vision that you can work with and that he is going somewhere, he is not letting his circumstances cause him to stay down, then that man deserves a chance. But if he waiting on you to get your check and he's sitting around playing PlayStation while you working, he's driving your car and doing things that you don't even do, then that is not a person that is equally yoked with you, and they should be not even considered as a partner. That's a person that should stay in the friend zone. So we're talking about this. It's going to get deep, but listen, a queen does not need a man that she has to emotionally and financially support every single day under normal conditions. Now, no normal conditions. So we all know that there are instances that happen in people's lives that will cause them to have a season of needing help. This is not what we're talking about. Notice this says every single day. If you have a man in your life, and we ain't talking about your child, we're talking about a grown man in your life that you have to emotionally, every day, every day they depressed, every day they down, it's draining. You always gotta babysit them. What's wrong? You walking on eggshells. You don't know if they up or down. You don't know if what you're gonna say is gonna make them mad. You don't. That is draining to a queen financially. If you have, if you gotta buy him a bill and cigarettes every day, he shouldn't even be considered with you as a queen. If you gotta support him, he can't eat unless you buy it. He ain't getting no tennis shoes unless you pay for them. You putting gas in his car. If you gotta do that, he is not a king conscious man. And you do not need him in your life if you have to emotionally and financially support him every day. That is for your children. That is for your children. That is not for a grown man. All right. I'm not going to beat that one, but y'all know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having internet issues. Please forgive me. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize for this internet connection, but we're gonna make it through this. Please forgive me. But what I'm saying, y'all hear what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying about this supporting a man. Y'all know where I'm at. When a woman is stronger than her man in certain areas, the chemistry of the relationship spins out of balance. And what we talked about, not only is there a lack of respect, but the chemistry that should be between the masculine energy in the relationship and the feminine energy in the relationships spins completely out of control when a woman is stronger than her man. So if you are more powerful, as far as you have more determination, you have more drive, you are dragging him along, what happens is you take on the masculine energy in the relationship, which means you are the head of the situation. You driving it, you making the money, you bringing it home, you cooking the bacon, you doing everything in the relationship. Then the chemistry between the two of you are off balance. It spins out of control because simply that is not the balance that God created in a relationship between a king and a queen. It's a balanced situation that should be happening. But when the woman is stronger than her man and she knows she is stronger than he is in certain areas, mostly in leadership, emotional intelligence, all of that, then it spins out of control and is completely out of balance. That's right. The difference between drive, ambition, vision, spiritually growing absolutely equals king quality. Absolutely. I agree with you, ladies. Thank you. Let's move on. It says, a weak man attempts to exert control over a woman's entire life. So this is about a man who has decided that he is going to force his way into respect. So in this part of the book, he's talking about a weak man is one that attempts to control a woman's entire life, which means he want to tell you how to wear your hair. He want to tell you what to wear. He's going to tell you what you're going to drive. He's going to tell you when you're going to go. You got to get money from him to get your hair done. You can't go and buy stuff you need without using his money. You got to be able to the list goes on and on. When a man is controlling over your entire life, he is not king conscious, because the truth of the matter is that a king is looking for a partner, a queen. He is not looking for someone that can be controlled. Queens do not submit to a tyrant. So not, a lot of times when a man is weak and he feels that he is not in control of himself, he will make an attempt to control the woman. So if I'm out of control as a man and I am not able to control my thoughts, I'm not able to control what's going on inside of me, then what will happen a lot of times is the man will focus on the woman and trying to control everything about her life, everything she's doing. They don't want you to work. They want you to be codependent. All of that is sign of a weak man that is not strong enough to support you as a queen. She said, the devil is 7 lies. I will not allow that foolishness. That's right, because you are a queen conscious woman. So you will not allow that foolishness in your life and for you to be controlled by somebody who's not even strong enough to help you grow as the queen that you have been created to be. This book talks about the fact that a king provides, a king protects, a king honors, and a king respects the queen. And until these standards are met, the queen simply will not submit to this man. So, a lot of people like to browbeat women with, you got to be submissive. The Bible says you're supposed to submit to your husband, submit to the man in your life. Truth of the matter is, if I'm a queen conscious woman, until you provide, protect, honor, and respect me, you will not get submission out of me. Does anybody agree with what I'm saying? Listen, that's right. Listen, until a man can provide, protect, honor, and respect you, listen, respect is something that's earned. Submission, in my opinion, is something that's earned. And I truly know if a man provides, protects, honors you, respects you, the most queen conscious women will naturally submit and be the feminine energy in the relationship. If you are protecting me, I know you provide for me. I don't have things to worry about. I know that you're going to be on your grind, that you're going to honor me in the midst of other people, even if I'm not there, and that you're going to respect me as your equal. Then I would not have a problem submitting to what your vision is for our family, for our relationship. But if you are a clown with a crown, and then you try to come up and tell me I'm supposed to submit to you, and you're not even providing for me, you're not protecting me in any way, you don't honor me. I get in front of other women and you point out my flaws, or your eyes are wandering and scaling other women up and down. You don't respect me as your equal. You always belittling me. Then how am I supposed to submit to you? So, like I said, in this book, even though this book is written by a man, I agree with these concepts he's saying, is that you got to be able, and when we say provide, we are talking about some financial things, but we're talking about, as women, everybody's love language is different. So a king has got to put in some work to understand, this is what my woman needs. My woman needs emotional support. So in order to provide that for her, these are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to send her a text. I'm going to tell her how beautiful she is. I'm going to make sure that I have, if she's a social media person, I might just write her a post one day for everybody to see. I'm going to do my part as her king to understand that I know what she needs me to provide for her. Because it may not always be money. If I'm a person where I want to be loved, protected, I'm going to make sure, hey, call me when you get there. I need to know you're safe. I'm concerned about your safety. I want to get out and pump your gas because I don't want you touching the gas pump. There are a lot of things that a king can do to show a queen that he wants to provide, protect, and honor her. If you want that submission from a woman, you got to be able to do those. You got to meet the prerequisites. Submission is not something that just comes, in my opinion, automatically. Okay? I'm eager to see what y'all's responses say to this. A queen never supports a lazy man. He does not have to have a greater paycheck, but he must have a greater drive. Now, I could just throw my hands up on that one. Because even though we all know that in today's society that women are climbing the corporate ladder, women are leading movements Women are on the move right now. So it is very possible that you can meet a king and your paycheck may be more than his. However, as a queen conscious woman, what you need to be looking for is the drive. Does he have the ambition and is he working towards being who he needs to be that God has called him to be? That even if you make more money than he does, are you able to still follow a vision and a path that he has laid out for you all? Is he working towards something? Does he have a business idea? If he's not an entrepreneur, is he working towards stability and growth on his job? If he doesn't have a job, he might be disabled, but in his disability, is he volunteering? Is he doing something to help men? All right, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about this internet. But is he doing something to grow the vision that you have for a family? Yes, I'm seeing some of these comments. Let me review some of them. He must do these things. It's easy to submit when you do love, honor, protect. That's right. My worth is too important to go low. I'm an eagle. We soar high. I know that's right. Absolutely. Tracy says, if my husband was lazy, baby, I would be celebrating 24 years of marriage. Hey, he would have been gone. That's right. Absolutely. You have a right. Greater is he who is striving to be the best he can be. Absolutely. This says, my king, whoever he will be, must be confident within himself. Absolutely, ladies. You are 100% correct with what we're saying on here tonight. Because truth of the matter is that we have a vision. We have a vision. As women, you know where you want to be. You know where you want to go. You have a desire within you to help. But we should be helpers. We should not be the one leading the way. Okay. And it's okay to give a man advice, to just give him that nudge, to push him. We are a help meet, but you got to give us something to help you on. Like, I can't give you a vision. I can't give you a drive. I can't give you the desire not to want to be lazy. A woman can't give that to a man. He's got to already have that. And then the woman come alongside him and help manifest the vision that God has already given the man. But we can't give this man a vision. Like, he's got to have a vision. And even though we may make more money than he does, we should be able to have something to support. Like, we are a helper. We like Spanx. We just gonna help you keep it together. But it's not our job to go out and kill the pig, clean the pig, bring the pig home, slice the pig, cook the pig, serve the pig, and wash the dishes. That is not our job. As a woman, as a queen, our role is to help you keep your plan together. But you must have a plan for us to help you. Queens do not tolerate an unfaithful man is the next. Lord, let's talk about this. Queens do not tolerate an unfaithful man. Queens have their own man without sharing. This really goes without me explaining, but let me tell y'all something. And one thing that I have seen more recently than I would like to see is that there are women who have decided that there are not enough men, so they are perfectly fine with sharing a man. Now, I even saw a post on Instagram where this man had his two baby mamas both pregnant at the same time, and he's in the middle, and they're all holding hands. Like, I don't know where we have gone wrong with this, but it is not okay for a woman to feel like it is okay to just settle for sharing a man. Now, polygamy does exist in some societies, but in the United States of America, we do not practice having multiple wives. But we know age long, men have had other women that they've had children by and all of that while they've been married and in committed relationships. It happens. But this is talking about the conscious decision that you make as a woman to decide that it is okay to accept that man being unfaithful, and then be okay within yourself with sharing him with another woman. I need some comments on this one, because I don't understand this whole principle. I don't get it. I don't get it. You asking for diseases and death. I see the comments. Absolutely not. Yeah, when you are accepting the life of sharing a man, do you understand that you are negating who you are as a queen? Every time a woman allows a man to cheat, and she repeatedly takes him back, her self-esteem is being drained. So every time you discover that he has cheated and you take him back, you are allowing your own self-value to be depleted. I'm gonna just let that settle in for a minute. And I know that life happens, and I've seen some couples bounce back from infidelity. I have seen it when the man realizes that he is wrong, or the woman realizes, because women cheat too, that she is wrong and I'm going to make a change, and they recommit, and both parties are in it to win it. I have seen people bounce back from infidelity. But I've also seen men and women who keep repeating it because they know that the other person is going to continue to take them back. They know that all I got to do is say I'm sorry, act right for about a week or two, and then I'm back in there. That at the end of the day, she's not going to do anything about it. She needs me, which is another reason why we as women should always have enough money to have a deposit on a place to stay, enough money to pay a light bill, and enough money to have gas in your car to do what you need to do. Because you should be sufficient enough as a woman that you never feel trapped in a relationship because you can't provide for yourself financially. Especially if you're an able-bodied woman that can do something with your life. But a lot of us women have gotten into this, he gonna take care of me, I ain't doing nothing. Well, guess what happens? When that man may change his mind or find somebody else, then what happens to you? You are not even prepared to take care of yourself as a queen, because you have allowed yourself to become codependent upon somebody else. And that is one of the reasons why women allow men to cheat, because they need them financially. But as a queen conscious woman, you have got to decide whether this man does right or not. I am going to be okay. I've got a plan. I got plan A, B, C, and D. And I know that without a shadow of a doubt that I'm going to be okay. If he ever act up, I pray that he's a faithful, loving man. But if he ever acts up, I got me. But a lot of us have gotten ourselves in situations where we are not prepared. And what happens is we end up needing these men because we are not financially ready. Y'all know we had an episode just about a queen is financially savvy. You got to be financially savvy because you never know what is going to happen. Says, why would someone respect you and your worth when they see that you don't respect yourself? Stop being oh my goodness. Can we talk about being a safety net? And some of us have this need to be needed. We feel good when somebody needs us and we can come to their rescue. But truth of the matter is, that's an internal thing that you need to work on, is when you have the need to be needed. Because when somebody sees that, that's a user, they be like, oh, I just got to make her feel like I need her, and she'll do anything I need her to do. So why? And absolutely, you are not anybody's safety net. What I said, we are Spanx. We help you keep it together, but we are not the safety net. God is the safety net. We don't serve in that role of safety net. We serve in that role of help you keep it together, but we are not the safety net. It says, by a woman supposed to have a way of escape money, clothes. Yes, we should have a way. We can't rescue everybody. Absolutely. So I'm not going to belabor this point much longer, but I'm just saying, don't compromise your self-esteem because you want to be loved. I'm sorry, y'all. My internet is pausing again. Forgive me, y'all. All right, so we're just gonna move on. Maybe the internet will catch up with me in just a second. Sorry, y'all, for this. I am in a different location, and I did not know that this was Wi-Fi was gonna be like this. All right, here we go. I think we're back now. We're almost at the end. Thank y'all for being patient and bearing with me on this. Okay, so the last part of this, Queens Only Hear Kings, is that if you're in the process of looking into potentials, we know that we don't go out marketing ourselves, number one. So stop all the Facebook foolishness, showing your booty and doing the busset challenge and all of that, trying to get attention. Okay, because a king should be coming to look for you. You should be working, doing God's business, going about your life, working on self-improvement when he finds you. Okay, but when he finds you, you must vet that king through intentional questioning. Ask questions and wait for the answers. So don't ask a question and already have the answer in your head so you don't hear what his response really is. You have to ask questions and then truly wait for the answer. Okay, so what question should you ask? All right, I'm going to read you a list of some of the questions that he discusses in the book that you should always ask a king when you're considering whether or not he is fit for you as a queen. You should always ask the king these questions. All right, so here we go. Number one, what matters most to you in your life? So if this man is potential for you, one of the questions you should ask him right off the rip is, what matters most to you in life? What things are important? What things have you decided as a man are important? And what things are important to you in your life? What is it that you are working towards that's a priority? The second question is, what actually attracted you to me? Did you see me on Facebook and you thought I was pretty? Did I do the busted challenge and you saw my butt first? So that's what attracted you to me? And you didn't even read my profile to see who I was? What is it did you hear that I was a good woman and a hard worker? What is it that attracted you to me? Or is it just, because right now we wearing masks, but did you see my pretty eyes and you thought that I was gorgeous? What is it that attracted you to me? I think that's a good question to know. If the response is only about the physical, that may indicate that he is a shallow man. So he should be able to articulate to you more than just the outward appearance. He should have done a little bit more homework to be able to answer this question. Number 3, what is your vision? What is it? What is your vision? What are you striving towards? Never go with a man before you know where he's going or if he's going anywhere at all. If a man cannot articulate to you what their vision is and what they're striving for, what the next step in their life is going to be, what do they need from you as a queen coming alongside this vision? If they can't articulate that, then they don't need a queen. The author of the book says, if a man does not have a vision, he does not need a queen. A queen is a gift that is given to a king that needs help to produce his vision. So why are you out here looking for a queen and you haven't even gotten your vision together? This book tells us that as queens, we are a gift that is given to the king to help produce the vision that the king has. So if there is no vision, then how am I going to help you? Number 4, what is your spiritual foundation? A queen will never submit herself to a man that may put her at odds with her God. So you got to know, are we on the same wavelength when it comes to the spirituality? Do we have the same foundation? Are we able to worship together? Are we able to serve God together? Are we able to do ministry together? Or do we have the same spiritual foundation? It says no queen will submit to a man that has not submitted to God. So in order for me to really see you in the right light as a king, I've got to see your submission to God first. And then I got to know that if you don't listen to me, that at least I can pray about it and God can speak to you. But if you don't even have a relationship with God, and when me and you and I are at odds, where is the power of the relationship with the Lord at if you don't have it, if you don't have that in place? Because we know as women, a lot of times men, it take them longer to get stuff than us. And we may have to tell them something once, twice, 3 times, and they might still not receive it. But if I can go to God in prayer and I know that you are a man of God and that you will listen to the Lord when he prompts your spirit, then I can pray and God will go to that man on my behalf and from prayer and help him understand what the next move should be. But if you're dealing with a king that don't have no prayer life and no spiritual foundation, you don't have a way for God to advocate for you. So he must have a spiritual foundation. And lastly, in the time that we have known each other, what have you learned about me? That's a good question to ask a potential. In the time that we have known each other, what do you know about me? A queen does not need a man that is not paying attention to her. A man that does not have a specific answer to this question either does not love the woman or is not smart enough to know he needs to learn her. I'm going to read that again. A man that does not have a specific answer to this question about what have you learned about me so far means that he either does not love you or that he is not smart enough to know that he needs to learn you. Because you have to be able to learn a woman to know how to love her appropriately. You got to learn her language because the woman is no doubtly is going to notice and learn details about you. But the man has got to be able to know some details so that he can know how to love you and speak your language. Okay. I see some comments over here saying making sure that the vision is realistic. Yep. It needs to be realistic because men have a lot of visions, but a lot of things that men want to do are not necessarily the vision for their life. They are just desires. So when you really talk about vision, it should be, okay, this is where I see us landing at the end of all of this. And then can you support that? That's right. Sometimes we talk, they don't listen to us, but we'll get it from somewhere else. That's right. And we hope that somewhere else is God. So those are like the 5 key things that he recommends in the book that a woman should ask. What matters most to you in your life? What attracted you to me? What is your vision? What is your spiritual foundation? And what have you learned about me since we've known each other? Good, good, good. All right. And let's just run through in the last few minutes. The last part of the book is about the queen keeps a royal circle. So this is about maintaining the people that's in your life that you call friends, people that are in your loyal, intimate circle. This is the last portion of the book talks about the royal circle. Queens are very intentional about the people they share their time and their life with. No one just randomly drops in. So if you're a queen, you should by now have have gotten the mindset that I am important, and not only am I important, but my time is important, and I am no longer a open city without walls. We started in the beginning saying that a woman that does not have control of herself is like a city that's been broken into, rioted without walls. But once you become queen conscious, which we've done through this book, we should be intentional about who comes and goes in our life. We should be intentional about the people that are in our royal circle, and we should be able to talk through what their purpose is in our life, why are they there, and all of that. So we're getting ready to get into this real quickly. Proverbs 13:20 says, "She that walketh with the wise shall be wise, but the companion of fools shall be destroyed." So a lot of times, a lot of what we are around is either going to make us better or it's going to help destroy us. And that's what we're going to talk about in a few minutes, about how do you know who's in your royal circle? How do you know who should be there? What's the purpose? What are their purpose? Things of that nature. So we're getting ready to kind of walk this down as the royal circle. Your elevation as a queen may cause periods of isolation in order for you to do self-growth and for maintenance. So self-care and maintenance is very, very important, ladies. You need some downtime one-on-one by yourself. There are some people that are afraid of their own company. But what I'm telling you today is that your elevation, now that you've gone through Queenology, you have become more conscious of who you are, you will need periods of isolation by yourself to do self-growth and maintenance. You will need time to be alone, to let God speak to you, minister to your spirit, listen to inspirational things, go back and read the Queenology book, revisit some things that you've heard, and just allow God to download into you. But you cannot do that if you're afraid of your own company and being alone. Queens must become accustomed to being alone and not needy to too many people. Some of us, it's like we're not satisfied unless people are always around us, always around us. But what time do you have for yourself to do spiritual reflection, growth, and maintenance if you are always afraid of being alone? A real queen is supposed to be does not maintain a circle of shady or questionable people. Let me tell you something. You know when somebody is shady. When they start making little sly comments, and every time you say something, they got to say something back. They always got to outdo what you're doing. Then that's a shady person. That's a person that always got an alternative motive. I always want to make sure that they outshine you. Those are not people that need to stay in your royal circle. Queens terminate any relationship that threatens to damage her character. So if you're around somebody and you're going through a hard time in your life, they use that as an opportunity to videotape you, to show you crazy things, to try to embarrass you, or to make people not see you in a positive light. That is not a person that you need to keep in your circle. Queens terminate people who threaten to damage their character. Because if you're in my royal circle, then I got to know that you are loyal to me, because I'm definitely loyal to you. And if I have to question whether or not you would protect me in a time of vulnerability, then that is a person that I don't ever need around me. So do you know who's in your royal circle? And I'm not saying this to not have friends, but what I'm saying is your royal circle should be a very tight-knit set of people that you know, ride or die, they have your back. It may just be one person that you know is in your royal circle that is your person, and that's fine. But you don't need 20,000 people and you can't trust none of them. That is not a royal circle. That is an entourage, and we all know what happens with an entourage. The queen may forfeit the favor of God when she maintains unrighteous alliances, which means you keep all these people around you that are not striving to be righteous, to live right, to do what's right. Then you may end up forfeiting the plans that God had for your life because you allowed the people around you to influence you. Remember, a person that does not empower you should not influence you. A queen sometimes just simply has to sanitize her circle. And we all know the power of sanitizing these days. We keeping our hands clean. We keeping our bodies clean. We keeping the car clean. We sanitizing the bathrooms. We spraying everything down. We wearing masks. We are doing everything we possibly can to keep sanitized. So why won't we do that for our personal lives? So if we're doing that for a virus and we're doing that for something that may threaten us, then the people that are in our lives that are not positive, that's always bringing negativity and want to bring us down, we should be sanitizing again to them too. We should be putting that, nope, not in my space. I'm sorry. You got to take that negativity somewhere else. You got to sanitize your circle sometimes because people will try to bring you down. A queen must realize that people who are etched in your past have no role in your future destiny. So these are people that have been in your past that you have had to dismiss, and you just etched them in stone, like they over there on the stone. That's where they're gonna be at. They were a part of the past, but they don't have a place in your future, but they keep trying to come back. Some people that are in your past need to stay there. They are in your past for a reason. You let them go for a reason. You don't. Sometimes people try to go back and dig up old friendships and all that kind of stuff. There are some things that just simply need to stay in your past because they have no role in your future destiny. The world will see you through the optics of your circle. So a lot of times people be like, just because I hang with them don't mean I do what they do. But guess what? As a queen in your kingdom, people know you by your association. So if you dealing with a group of people and they known for something, then guess what? That scent gets on you the more you hang around them. People see you through the optics of your circle. The queen needs a smart circle to help her make tough decisions. If you in the circle and you the smartest person, nobody in the circle can ever give you an advice. Nobody can ever help you. You the one that always got to look out for everybody. Everybody always calling you, and you don't never have anybody else to depend on. You need somebody in your circle that you can glean from. And even if it's virtually, there should be some people in your life that you just get knowledge from. I have a couple, and they don't even know that they're in my circle. But Oprah, Ayana, Michelle Obama, and Maya Angelou, I study her work. I have some people that are in my virtual circle that I know that I can glean from. I have some people that are in my physical circle that I can glean from, that I know they're just a phone call away and they can help me make a good decision, a good grounded decision when I'm going through tough times. If you don't have that, you need to think about who's in your royal circle. A queen's circle fights for her, is honest with her. If you got some friends and they don't never want to tell you the truth, they pumping your head up every time, they don't never tell you when you wrong, that is not a good royal circle. Your friends should be able to tell you, girl, that ain't good. What you doing? Why you do that? Why you go off like that? That wasn't the right response. And do it in a way that's loving and kind because they are your friend. But you should have somebody in your royal circle that will tell you the truth. There should be somebody that provides wise counsel for you. Your friends should celebrate your victories as if they're your own. I'm happy for all my friends when something good happens. I'll be like, girl, for real? That is so good. I'm so excited. I get excited about their blessings. And I have friends that get excited about my blessings. When I got my new vehicle, I had a particular friend that was like, she said, I felt like I just got it. Lord, thank you for the new vehicle. And was really excited about me getting a new car. If you have friends that can't get excited when you get blessed, there is a problem. Because you should have people in your royal circle who celebrate your victories just like they're their own. Because no doubt you will do the same for them. Lastly, they should be reliable and inspirational. If you don't have anybody in your circle that you can depend on, or that even if you just need a positive word, let me call my sis over here because I know she's gonna say something today that's gonna you gotta be that for people sometimes. Everybody can't have a bad day on the same day. There should be some people in your circle that you know that usually is on the up and up that you can call, have a conversation with, and by the end of the conversation, you are simply just going to feel better. You got to know who's in your royal circle. Ask yourself, does my circle build me or does my circle break me? How many times have I had to make excuses for my circle because their behavior was inappropriate? Let me tell y'all something. Some of the worst people to go out to eat with is a royal circle with an attitude. I have seen women in a group that go out to eat. This was before coronavirus. That were the rudest, nastiest people to the waitress. And it was so uncalled for. But because the whole group was like that, I felt embarrassed for them. I have seen people just be mistreated at the hands of us as women because we so picky and just don't want to be understanding. These people are working, trying to serve you, and you are just mean and nasty to them. I'm one of those people where it's got to just not be right for me to even send it back. Because I'm like, I know they tried, but unless I can't eat it, I'm going to send it back then. But otherwise, and when I send it back, I'm going to do it in a sweet, gracious manner and say, if I need to pay extra, let me know. But this just isn't working for me. Please, there is a way to say anything. But if you got a group of friends that you find yourself apologizing to other people because of their behavior, you are in the wrong circle. You are simply in the wrong circle. Did I choose my circle? Here's another question. Or did they randomly attach themselves to my life? I know of people that just decided they was going to be somebody's friend and they were never invited into that person's life. They just decided they're going to attach themselves to you and they are going to be your friend regardless of how you feel about it. No. Because you might not be assigned to me. God might not have put you in my circle. So you need to think about every person that's in your immediate circle. Did God choose them for your circle, or did they just randomly decide they were going to attach themselves to you in your life? And a lot of times those random people are the ones who cause the most problems in your life because they weren't meant to be attached to you in the first place. So are they in your life because God put them there, or are they there because they decided they were going to attach themselves to you? Lastly, can I learn from my circle? Do they actually support me, or are they just benefiting from me? So as you think about who is in your circle, who are those people that are close to you? Can you learn from them? Do they actually support you? Or are they just benefiting from what you bring to the group, to the table, to the circle, to the friendship, to the relationship? Is it a two-way? Or are you the one that's always giving and never getting anything back? Is that really who you need in your royal circle? Count on me. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Some people are petty. Yes. Thank y'all so much for your comments. I appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, if we don't get this circle right, some of our circles can affect where we're going as queens. And so we've got to think about, who is it in my circle? Are they supposed to be there? How did they get there? And what are they doing while they're there? And then don't be afraid to sanitize. If you need to sanitize your circle, now is the time. God did not bring this Queenology to fruition for us to go through this process and us not change. So there are some things in this series that we simply need to address. And so at the end of the day, you got to look at your circle, and you got to know, you got to be attached to a king with a vision, and you got to know who your circle is. Lastly, no more crazy social media rants and body challenges. Y'all know the last few weeks I have said this to y'all because I see our women degrading ourselves doing these body challenges, and there is nothing positive coming from that. And the attention that you're getting is not positive attention. So, ladies, let's just stop it. Stop it with the social media. Stop it with the busted challenge. Stop it with all that because it's bringing attention to you, but not the right kind. And a king is not going to see you in that light if you're parading yourself on social media in a manner that is not womanly and not queenly, more or less. All right. So let's just not do that. So well, I'm getting ready to read the declaration, and this is going to be the entire declaration. Like I mentioned, I will do a separate post that will just be the declaration, so you can keep it and you can go back and listen to the declaration. I'm going to put it in this episode, and then I'm going to go back and do it separately. So if you just want to hear the declaration, you can play it and put it in your YouTube playlist or whatever you desire to do. Okay, but here's the Queen's Declaration, sections 1 through 9. All right. I decree in the name of the Lord Jesus that I am everything God created me to be. I am slowly but surely purging my mind of every lie that has drained my self-esteem. I am eliminating every relationship that robs me of my queen consciousness. I am learning from my mistakes and I am conquering my pain. I am a queen and I'm determined to reign. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I have no cause to walk in any state of emotional chaos. I am a queen of the highest order, and all of heaven's angels are prepared to do my bidding. I will no longer be emotionally vulnerable. I am a queen, and I can only be equaled by a king. I am wise because I discern all matters with my spirit and I analyze with my intellect. I am never deceived by my emotions. I honor and I minister to the ordained man for my life, and he will never have a need to wonder if we are a couple. Together, we will walk in dominion. I am a financially free queen. I have more than enough because I live a disciplined lifestyle. I live below my means and I am always in abundance. I am unmoved by the cares of this world. I live for freedom and for the legacy of my family. I am wealthy beyond measure. I am a queen of purpose. I live my life on the incline because I am on top and going even higher. I will never waste my life in pettiness or useless relationships. I will allow no person to rob me of the gift of greatness that God has endowed me with. I will maximize my potential and I will actualize my greatness. The world will see all that is within me before I die, and my life will leave a legacy to the queens to come. I am a queen. I have no time or space for anything that is not loyal or that is not righteous. I am above pettiness, and I never will be controlled by my fears or doubts. I will never tolerate personal insecurities. I overcome, and I am never overcome by others. I will always represent the epitome of excellence and of confidence. I am a queen. I am a thermostat because I set the atmosphere in every room. They feel me before I enter and they remember me after I'm gone. I never seek attention because I possess an irresistible presence that attracts people to me. I empower the downcast and I confuse the high minded. I am a queen, and guess what? I know it. I am a queen, and only a king will satisfy. I will maintain my standards and I will build my kingdom while my king is coming. I will never settle for a relationship that is beneath me. I am a queen, and only a king will truly satisfy. I will be wise in the development of my inner circle. I will surround myself with the people who may glean from me as I also glean from them. I will not be needy of companionship. I will make intentional decisions that will thrust me into my destiny. I am a queen. Isn't that beautiful? That is beautiful. And like I said, I will post this as a separate message so that you can have that when you need to just go back and hear something positive to remind you of who you are, who God says you are, who is called to be queen conscious. I will repost this separately. And I also wanted to say to each and every one of you a humongous thank you to everybody that has tuned in over the last 9 weeks. This has definitely been an awesome journey that we have discovered, from dealing with emotional chaos to how to be financially savvy, to not being petty and worrying about what other people think about you, now to knowing what we deserve as queens and who we should look for as kings in our lives, and lastly, looking at who's around us in our royal circle. This has definitely been an awesome journey. I pray that every one of you have been blessed by some portion of this. I will go back and record the Queen's Decree separately on its own so that you can always have that without going all the way back through the videos. But I just want to say to every lady that has had any part of this book club that I thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part of this. And if you're interested in us continuing to do this on a weekly basis, please send me some comments. Let me know. I'm going to take a couple weeks off. And there's some more good things to come. I do want to talk a little bit about the next venture that I'll be going into later on this summer. It's called Operation Selfie. It is going to be a private mentorship type program where I will work with the individuals one-on-one to do more personal development, to actually take you through some things spiritually, and also to provide some guidance to you as you continue to grow in your journey in being a queen. I've received several inboxes and emails about the desire to have someone work with them one-on-one, that they have some personal things that they would like some spiritual help with, as well as growth in, becoming more of the queen that they want to be. So in order to do that, I am going to be developing the private mentorship program. There will be a small cost each month to be enrolled in it, but it is power packed, full of great things that you are going to know that your small investment could never pay for. So if you're interested, there will be a commercial and some other things that are to come with the Operation Selfie Mentorship Program. But I just want to say that I have thoroughly enjoyed this last 9 weeks with you all, walking through this Queenology. This has really been something else. And I pray that this is something you always go back and tune into. It is on YouTube. You just type in Queen Cassandra Haynes and you will see all of the videos. All 9 weeks are there now, and you will be richly blessed. Again, this has been such a pleasure. Feel free to send me an inbox or type a message. Let me know if you want to keep this going. In a few weeks, if I get enough responses, then we'll do the next book, and we will keep this rolling. So again, thank you all so very much for your time, for your investment, for tuning in, and also for being a part of this book club. I appreciate every single one of you, and I wish you all a blessed night. And I'm looking at the comments. Okay, y'all saying yes, let's continue, let's continue, let's continue. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take a couple weeks off to enjoy my family a little bit and get a little personal time in. And then once I select the next book, I will let you all know. And it looks like we will keep this train rolling with this virtual book club. I enjoy connecting with each of you each week, and I know that this is something that has been a blessing to me, and I hope it's been a blessing to you also. So thank you all so very much. And again, I'm going to jump off, and then I'm going to come right back on, and I'm going to record this Queen Declaration on a live by itself, so that you can always have it in your list. And I can also post it to YouTube, and you can just save it to your YouTube when you want to hear it. Okay. All right. So y'all have a blessed, wonderful night. I'm gonna jump off and jump right back on and do the declaration separately. And I will see you all very soon. And you post the actual. I cannot reproduce this in writing, but I definitely can post the video back on my page. This is not my material, so I'm not authorized to reproduce it in writing. I can, read it verbally as long as I give credit to the author. So unfortunately, I cannot reproduce it in writing, but I can do it in video in speaking. Okay. All right. Well, I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Be blessed. Bye bye.